Buy me a coffee. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to our lesson part of the show. Tonight, we're gonna learn the lesson about Unit 10C, Culture, Science, Fiction. So, it is all about sci-fi. So, if you're a sci-fi fan, you're in luck for tonight's lesson of the show. And if you're a fan, you can enjoy this. But I don't watch much movies, okay? So, right at the exercise number 1, show off the, some of the, clearly, remain a few knowledge about my, world of film, because I don't watch it much, okay? So it says, look at the photos. Do you know any of these science fiction stories? Okay, so you see on the screen, you may know this one. It talks about the time machine. So by seeing at the title, I can say like that. But if you're asking me for a content of the movie, I'll say I would say that I need to kill myself, because you know, that was the knowledge, the zone for me to get out of, because you may love one of those, like the second picture. Looks kind of creepy, but it's very interesting to tell that I don't even know it. Sorry about that. Or the third picture, it can be took out from a very famous film or a very famous movie about sci-fi, but turns out I cannot talk unless I can read about the story about the War of the Worlds. War of the Worlds. So, let me read for a little bit. So let's see if I know anything about the world of sci-fi. Okay, so this would help my chance to know a little bit about sci-fi world. Okay, here we go. So H.G. Wells. Okay, so H.G. Wells was born in England in 1866 and wrote some of the first ever science fiction stories. Oh, so he is the first ever writer. 1866 in England. H.G. Wells. So the father of sci-fi world, sci-fi planet, you know. The ideas behind his stories captured the imagination of readers at that time, especially because the science and the technology were advancing so rapidly and having such a dramatic effect on society. Many of his books, including War of the Worlds, The Invisible Man, and The Time Machine. So, some of those are illustrated in the picture, so I can say that The Time Machine by H.G. Wells, I know it right now. So what does it talk about? Some of his stories that he wrote has been made to films. So let's read some more information. In 1938, War of the Worlds was adapted for radio and caused a national incident when it was broadcast live in the USA, because the program used news bulletins to tell the story. Thousands of the US citizens believed that the Earth really had been invaded by the Martians with ray guns and poison gas. Many of them panicked and fled their homes, some claiming that they could smell the poison gas and see the flashes of ray guns. Even though the program contained several reminders that the events that were being described were fictional, many listeners apparently did not hear or didn't pay attention to those. The radio station was later forced to apologize. However, so this was from the fault of the viewers and the people listening. Okay, so right now the situation about FaceApp, I'm still sitting right here and do the show with you. So we still here, so we are still with you. So keep staying, okay? Don't be panicked like us. It was just a fake news. Catch me, Trump. Catch. Okay, so where are we? You know, one of the greatest part about reading, that I read and I talk about that instantly, about the content that are interesting. And then after I tell you about the story or something else, I forgot where I was. So, where was I? Okay, so, the part about the listeners. Okay, so they apparently did not hear or pay attention to these. The radio station was later forced to apologize. However, the scandal made the program's director Orson Welles famous overnight, and he went on to become a successful film director and actor. So, from a scandal just in one night, and became famous with the work that they are doing. It is about the sci-fi. That is another kind of film that are not real, just fictional. And you know, sci-fi movies, things that did not really happen, that I actually know a little bit about the word sci-fi. But if you are telling me to say one film about sci-fi, I would say The Time Machine by H.G. Wells, a very famous England writer in 1866 that I know of recently. So, sci-fi, it is just a fake word. Happening, stories, it can be about a UFO collapse to the Earth, or it can be anything else that even be worse than that. I don't know. But it is just all about sci-fi. It is not actually real, okay? But some stories that can be real, that we also have heard about some of the existence of the aliens, you know, and they can be here. They can be, but I guess that they were, because we have some evidence about that, right? We have some evidence that some of the places around the world that had the steps of the aliens landing, and the land that the UFO just landed on Earth, and they walked out. Some of the news like that. So I think I should read more. I think I should read more about this word. So, War of the Words. So, H.G. Wells and Orson Welles. So we know it, and we read it. And so that is it for the first part. I want to say please go next to the exercise number 3 on page number 105. They tell us to, are these sentences true or false? So let's just find the information that I just read in the text, and we'll be right back with the next part of the show. I'm going to do the exercise number 3, and please remember, try to do it during the break. So, true or false? If it's true, just say it is true. But if it is false, please, they say that we have to correct the false sentences, okay? So, you can practice that during the break, and do it, try. And we'll be right back to correct that exercise. Don't go anywhere.